Okay, so first you're gonna have to get into Zoom in your teacher account. It's important to be on your teacher account. You can go longer than 40 minutes. You can do breakout rooms. You have a lot more control in those settings. Right now, Zoom is giving us that for free. I don't think there's an idea of when that's going away, but I think that's part of why the district's not doing it. So to do that, you need to go to clever.com, sign into your account with Clever. You do that by hitting the student teacher, and then you sign in. Click. And took me a long time during the pandemic to figure this out, but I have it as a favorite in my favorites right here, but it's actually on the district page, and then to favorite you just put a heart, so you don't have to go to two pages. Once you have it favored, you want to do that, but I showed you guys where that is. Now you're officially signed in on Zoom, so like you don't have to put in a password and stuff. If you just do your password, I don't know, it doesn't work. You do have to go through Clever, I believe. So make sure you go through Clever. Here's my profile. And then you want to go through settings. So you really want to look through the settings, see what settings you want to use. I'm just scrolling down here, reading the settings, making sure that I have anything that I might want. So here I am. I'm down in scheduling meeting. I want to make sure that has most of this stuff is default, you can see. But I want to make sure the participants are muted when they arrive, because it just makes life easier when they come in quiet, and then they can unmute themselves. So to click that on and off, that's it. For our meeting, I just didn't want that, so I took off the mute. Chat, and then private chat. Are you going to allow the students to talk to each other in chat? Auto savings of chat. Are you going to auto save it so you have a copy of it? I like that. Some people don't, obviously. Sound a notification when somebody joins or leaves. I think that's good. That's handy. I don't like hearing it during a meeting, so I only put host and co-host. That way the kids aren't hearing people come and go. You know, what if somebody's internet falls off? So maybe that's why they left for a second. Okay, co-host. If you want a student to help you out, you might want the co-host on. Screen sharing is another thing that you can turn on. Host only, or that you want the students to be able to screen share as well, which I was like, oh yeah, right, I want to be able to screen share. I have a lot of times when I'm doing it, I have my students screen share just because I want to see what's on their screen, their artwork, or like, let me see your Photoshop. I want to figure out what's going on with it. So that's important for me to turn on. Disable desktop screen shares for users. So that was another screen share one. These are defaults, like the whiteboard saving is a default, which is great. So if you're using the whiteboard. Nonverbal feedback, that's always cool to do, like hand raises and thumbs up and stuff. So you do want that on, I believe, but you know, up to you guys. And you can see they have all kind of these options: report participants to Zoom, breakout rooms, allow participants to rename themselves. I'm okay with that, because sometimes they'll sign in, like my friend did last night, in her husband's account. So it's okay to have them be able to rename. So here's where you put in the breakout room. So it says you want to be able to do the breakout rooms, and you need to have that setting in before you make the meeting. That's what I did wrong last night. I didn't put that setting in. Okay, virtual backgrounds. If you decide if you want that or if you want to see what's going on behind them. And come on down. There's a lot of them. This is why Google Meets is a little bit simpler. There's not as many like things, but that's, you know, if you want less, that's what you get less. So so then, like, do you want to be notified if they're trying to get in? Just different things here. Okay, so that was it. That's all the settings that you should do. So now we're going to schedule a meeting like I did with you guys. I'm showing you exactly like scheduling the PE meeting right now. So nothing else. Account profiles. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything in these sections. But yeah, you can see this account's actually owned by Mount Diablo, not you, which is why we get that over an hour and on your personal account, you wouldn't get that. And I also don't think personal accounts can do breakout rooms. Okay, so here is a schedule a meeting. And then you want to put your topic, or if you were going to just use this same one every time, you could say PE1 and have that as your title, whatever you want to do. You could do a description. I'll show you in a minute when you saw that I sent you a Google Calendar. I don't like the passcode. I think it causes issues. I found a lot during my family posts that it was harder to do. That sometimes the passwords didn't work. I also was like, oh, this is new, breakout room pre-assign, which I'm really interested in. Oh, I want it to be only people with mdusd.net accounts or .org can get in. Just want to see how that goes. And I prefer them to be on their actual school accounts, because then you know it's them. So, and then the breakout rooms, you can create a head. Unfortunately, I don't have the participant list. I didn't have you guys MDUSD real handy. It didn't come right up, which I was hoping it did. So I didn't use that for this meeting, but you can pre-assign your breakout rooms, which is kind of cool. So, and then I want to record this meeting so that we can have it for later. Now I'm going to add it to my Google Calendar. Right there from that little spot, press Google Calendar, and it took me to the second page to my mdusd.org. And this is my calendar right here coming up. And then I say, yeah, that looks good. Oh, I want to add you because I invited you to, so easy peasy, put in Renee. And then Durazo wasn't popping right up, and I don't know how to spell his name correctly, so there was that. I don't know, sometimes names pop up well on this, and again, I was trying not to just go search for it. So sometimes the names come up well, and then sometimes they don't. But it's nice you can add your guests, so hopefully it sent you something, which should have looked like a calendar invite with the link. You can also do that by class. You can put in like your class name, so PE1, and it would come up, and each student would get an invite in their email as well as on their calendar. So I also wanted to copy the invitation just to double check and show you can do that. So this is what I would normally do, is copy the invitation and put that in my Google Classroom. I took out the dial information because that just was too confusing, and I didn't want them to dial in. So I'd rather them be on camera and seeing the camera. I had one student that only showed up by phone once, and it was just, he was like, what are you talking about? It's a visual class. How can you do that by phone? So then I just wrote start meeting, and there we go. Easy peasy. It opens Zoom. It would get the meeting started, waiting for you guys to come in. But then I just ended it and moved on.